Hey everybody, how's it going? This is Nick, aka RockLeeSmile. I'm here with another news update. I know it's been way too long. I owe you guys a lot of explanations for a lot of different things. The channel's been going crazy, lots of good and some less than good news. But I want to hit it all. I've got a whole list of different things, administrative notes and such. We've got a little bit of a Q&A to do at the end. There's going to be all kinds of stuff. But first, I want to start with a pretty serious thing, because I know that users' attention tends to drop off pretty quick when it comes to YouTube videos, so I want to hit this right at the front of the video. There is an issue with my YouTube subscription system. I've had users actually come forward and tell me that although they have active YouTube accounts, they use them all the time, they've actually been unsubscribed from my channel. This is a big problem. Obviously, this is something that you've probably seen other YouTubers complain about in various forums. Even YouTube's own partner blog has... Well, the thing is, they haven't mentioned it, that's the thing, but the comments have been filled to the brim with people being upset about the fact that some of them have lost thousands of subscribers, some of them pretty much lost most of their entire account and all the time and effort they put into making this stuff. So I see that I'm about to be poised to be one of those people, maybe, I hope not, but things have been going kind of weird. So I'm going to actually put up my image here of my YouTube analytics page so you can see what I'm talking about. And take a look over by, well, I mean, you can obviously tell really quickly just looking at this, the graph goes insane. I mean, you would expect as my channel gets more popular, more people subscribe to it, you know, as a result, more people are going to also leave. That makes perfect sense. I have no problem with that. But where we're getting into an issue is around somewhere about end of July, early August. You'll see the floor for unsubscribes is not 0 anymore. It becomes a number other than 0, and that is an issue because every single day I've been losing some amount of subscribers. And the thing is, lately, that number has hit new peaks like 9 a day. And in fact, the way that this works is usually I go to bed, let's say for example I have 1,400 subscribers. I go to bed with 1,400 subscribers, I wake up in the morning, I have 1,396. And then I spend the rest of the day getting one subscriber and losing one subscriber, and eventually I'll come out at almost a wash. This has been going on for like a couple of weeks now, where every new subscriber I get, I tend to lose one. And now that I've found out that there's actually people that are getting unsubscribed unwillingly from my channel, I'm not happy about that. Worked kind of hard to get you guys to, you know, see my content, and for those of you who don't want to leave necessarily and may not realize they've even left, they just all of a sudden aren't getting my videos anymore, I'm not thrilled about this whole situation, and I know there's not a whole lot I can really do about it. I mean, I've looked around, a lot of different people have been saying they've had problems. I've had a couple people even say that they've had this exact same problem, and they don't get any replies from YouTube about it. So I guess I'm putting this out into the world, maybe in vain, but at least to let you guys know. Watch to see if you're still subscribed to me after a while. Well, I still have you subscribed right now since you saw this video. Keep in mind that if I ever go away, please come back. I really value that. That would be very important to me that you would. But the progress has been kind of slow because of this. Every 5 subscribers I get, I lose 4, it seems. So I've been getting, you know, very little hits of success here and there. But largely, I mean, things are still doing fine. It's just things could be going a lot faster. I mean, as you saw on that page, it says I've lost a total of 250 subscribers. I'm not going to say that all of those are attributed to YouTube. I'm sure a few people have left of their own volition, and I don't blame them. I mean, not every channel's for everybody. That's fine. I don't have any problem. If you want to unsubscribe from my channel, I mean, I wish you wouldn't, but if you do, I can't hold that against you. That's your right. But for those of you who don't want to unsubscribe from my channel and have been, that sucks. So just something for you guys to keep in mind, especially since lately YouTube's UI has been really weird. They've been jumping in and out of this new all-white version for about a week and a half-ish, and every other time I go to the YouTube page, it is different. So maybe that has something to do with their databases. Maybe things have been really messed up because of that. And maybe in a week or two I'll just get 200 subscribers for no reason because they realize that their database is screwed up. I doubt that's going to happen. Highly doubt that. But if it did happen, I guess that would be fine then, and I will try and make an annotation on this video. So that's the big point. And I hope you guys can do what you can to try and help me kind of combat this with whatever you can. Like, all I'm really asking, like, if it's possible, watch your feeds, see if I'm still there, you know, every week or so, check to see if, you know, if you still want to be subscribed, check to see that you are, and do what you can to mention me to your friends, you know, spread the word, because I guess the more subscribers I can get coming in, hopefully the more I'll be able to stay above the negative subscriber tide that has been pulling me back down. It's tough, like the fatigue of knowing that you may have gotten 15 new subscribers today, yet lost 10. It's like you're kind of really paddling against the stream. Well, I've made enough metaphors here. So that's the one thing. Beyond that, I also want to mention we're doing all the bad news first. We'll get that out of the way, and then we'll hit the good stuff in the Q&A. The other bad thing is the Dark Souls LP, and this is not super bad, but we had a bit of an issue with Anza's recording setup, and we ended up we actually finished it. The game's over. We've recorded well in advance. We've got, I think the total is going to come out to 64 episodes, and the last 4 episodes, the audio did not get recorded for Anza, so it's just me talking. So we're going to have to figure out what we can do with that. My idea is we're just going to kill the audio entirely, so there'll be no game audio, and we'll just talk over it and do post-commentary. It really sucks, though, because we did a pretty good job commentating over the final boss and doing some actually kind of funny stuff, I thought. So I'm a little disappointed about that, but what can you do? Not everything's going to work out, especially when it comes to video recording. As I've learned, I would say every 10 videos you make, one of them is going to be screwed up somehow. And you can check and you can recheck, and you kind of have to do all those things to even stand a chance. But there's a pretty good chance that something's going to get messed up in there. So you just got to roll with the punches, do what you can to make up for it. I'm sorry that this is going to be the way it is. I wish it wasn't, but, you know, I can't really do much about it, unfortunately. So post-commentary it is, unless we can come up with a better idea. I'm thinking that's going to be the idea, though. He wanted to redo the whole ending of the game with another character. I'm like, no, man. I mean, we got this character all the way to the end. I have a feeling you guys want to see what happens exactly with that same character, and it's not going to be the same if we just are a different soul level with a different armor set or whatever. What was the other? He had another idea. I don't remember what it was. So that's that. Dark Souls is going to wrap up, I think, sometime end of October-ish, maybe early November. I think it's end of October. I actually looked up the date. It's like October 20-something. And then the next thing is we've got our pixel spending system. I want to apologize again that that's not still up on Indie Impressions or indie-impressions.com. Yeah, I don't even know the name of my own URL. It's been like 2 months now. So what's up with the pixel spending system? Well, the big thing is I want to give you guys some sort of a thing to buy with your pixels, and right now I'm not quite there yet. I haven't come up with a big list of stuff that you guys can buy. I do have sort of an idea how it's going to work, and I think what we're going to do to tide us over is when I can get a couple of game keys or something, I'm going to do like mini auctions on the forums where you guys can bid your pixels versus each other, and whoever has the highest bid after X amount of time will just get the prize. I think that seems like a reasonable way to do it. I've been looking through WordPress plugins and all kinds of different options. I've found a couple of things, some I like more than others, but the thing is none of them integrate with pixels specifically, and I wanted that to be a thing. So, I mean, I'm just trying to go with what we can do, and I can manually adjust pixels, so I can do an auction or something like that. If you guys know a better idea, some other way to integrate pixels into another auction or purchasing system. Like originally I wanted to have it be like there's a pixel shop. You click on a button, it takes you to a place on the site where you can then click on another button that says pay X amount of pixels, get whatever. I don't know if that's feasible. I mean, I'm not super good with this kind of stuff. I mean, I'm a web designer technically, but I'm more on the graphic front than the coding front. I mean, I can do a little bit of the coding, but I definitely can't do anything too comprehensive. I can't do like all the jQuery, MySQL type of stuff. So when it comes to databasing and all that, that's not my forte. Sure, someone out there probably can, and if you'd like to lend a hand, I guess that's cool, but, you know, I don't want to bug you guys about it either, so it is what it is. I'm going to figure something out eventually, so all I'm asking for is just a little bit more patience until I get a concrete plan in place. I want to get something going in the next couple weeks, though. I don't think it's going to be super long. If at least just one of those auctions or something, just to let you guys know that you can spend your pixels on something. You're not collecting them for no reason. And I do value all the time that you've spent on the site. Alright, what else? YouTube views. We've got, YouTube views have been kind of down lately, and it's not anybody's fault, except for maybe Google's fault, because they've added well, this isn't a new thing, but a while ago they added a feature that was basically on the main page, like the subscription feeds that come up when you first go to youtube.com. There's a button in the top right corner above where the boxes all show up, and it says select highlights or select like view all, and it defaults to highlights. How YouTube has decided that they're going to pick what out of your subscription feed that you get to see, I don't understand what the thinking process is there. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but that's what it defaults to. So there's a good chance that a lot of you guys are actually missing some or maybe most of my videos that I put up because YouTube's decided that whatever it's promoting at the time is more important. That's really kind of crappy, and I'm not too happy about that either. So that makes two things, 2 strikes on you, Google, for all the messing around you're doing. And then I don't know if I think the new UI, the all-white one I mentioned before, I think that defaults only to recommended and stuff, because I'm having recommended videos that aren't even to do with videos that I've looked at on YouTube. Like, I searched for a video on this game called Vox, and it decided that because I searched for Vox, it could recommend something about some kind of spinal column injury surgery in my subscription feed. Like, it's deciding not to show me stuff I actually want to see, and then also promoting videos that have nothing to do with anything that's relevant or interesting to me. I'm not into spinal column surgery, I'm sorry. It's just the way it is. I don't know what they're doing over there. Things are really not looking good, and I'm not too happy about it. So all I'm asking for this particular point is check the top of your subscription feed and switch it over to view all, or whatever the proper equivalent is. I don't remember exactly what they called it on the button, but you know what I mean if you go there. Just in case you are missing some of my videos, because the hit has been pretty drastic. Like, I was getting an average of 600 to 700 views without doing a ton of promoting, and now I'm lucky if I can get 400 with Reddit and with all the places that I post my videos. I'm not complaining. I mean, I'm happy to have any views. I'm happy to be on YouTube. I'm happy you guys even care to watch me. So honestly, things could be a lot worse. But I just feel like, for stupid reasons like that, if YouTube's going to be the thing that's stopping me from reaching you guys, I feel like that's a little annoying. So I just wanted to put that out there, I guess. So I think that'll about do it for the negative stuff. Let's hit the positives, because I think we need a little bit more positivity in our day. So I do want to thank you guys for your incredible support. I've had just an amazing amount of people reaching out to me between the forums, YouTube itself, Reddit, Twitter, emails. I've been getting a lot of emails, actually, from indie developers that just want me to check out their games. I think I've gotten like 25 game requests, somewhere around there, and I've added them all to my list. I'm checking them all out. I will try to pretty much play every game I can on the channel that is worth playing. I mean, there have been a couple that have been a little bit too early maybe in development and or aren't the most interesting content for you guys, because I also am aware that there is a certain amount of curation that I'm doing when it comes to the Indie Impression series. I do want to keep it generally games that I find artistically engaging, some sort of uniqueness to them, interest. I mean, it can be a lot of things. It's really hard to describe exactly what it is, but there's always this like little spark that goes off in my head when I see a game that I go, hey, I need to cover this for X reason. So sometimes, and it's not necessarily anybody's fault, it may just be a difference of opinion, but sometimes the games that I see don't always fit that criteria. So please don't take it personally if I don't cover your game. I still may be going to, I just haven't yet. I have a lot of games on my list still. I have actually gotten down to like 135, and I know that number has seemed like it hasn't changed, but it's gone up to like 160 and then gone back down to 120, and then I find more and I do more, and you get how it is. It just goes up and down a lot. So when you add on, I try to prioritize the developer request ones, because I do want to help developers out specifically, and occasionally I try to do a little promotion. You know, if I get a good cause like the contest, Bundle in a Box contest, sorry, we'll get to buy some indie games later. The Bundle in a Box contest is very cool, and I do want to do more contests. That's always another thing I'm trying to be cognizant of. So if you guys out there that do bundles or do any kind of promotion, you know, I'm working with a couple people specifically, actually 3 or 4 people specifically, that are trying to get me games that need promotion, and I do try to look at those, and I do try to prioritize those somewhat over the ones that I just randomly stumble upon on the internet. So it does vary a lot, but we're actually going to cover this question a little bit more later on, so I'm going to leave it at that for now. So yeah, contests, we've been doing more contests. I'm trying to do those. Ideally, I'd like to give away games once a week if I can. but I still have to get a little bit further in the grind for that, and that is sort of one of my goals, is if we can get the channel bigger, I want to put any kind of money that I get, and I obviously can't put all the money, but, you know, a good amount of the money towards getting games for you guys to get for free. You know, contests, giveaways, all kinds of good stuff. I do want to promote that. That's a serious part of this whole situation, so keep in mind, if you're backing my channel, you're also backing your ability to potentially get free games in the future. It's a long sell, I know, but like, I'm doing what I can here. I'm trying to make the best of it, and I am still putting out daily content. In fact, I've put out way more content lately than I had quite a while. There was a week or two back in June, I think it was, that I was doing 3 or 4 videos a day, and then there was kind of a lull from June to July, and then July into early August. I think I was doing 1 or 2 videos a day at most, you know, the occasional Binding of Isaac, but, you know, every day I've still hit an indie impressions, no question there. I've not missed one yet. And I still intend to. I'm going to keep pushing that as hard as I can. I want to do a whole year. I want to do 365 days of indie impressions before I take a break. I know it's a little ambitious, but I'm trying. I think I can do it. And with your guys' support, I'm pretty sure I can. And if that goes well, who knows? Maybe I'll just keep on going. We are going to hit a point, though, very soon where I get to 200 episodes, and then I'm going to have to start a new playlist. But we'll tackle that when we get there. And we're not too far off, actually. We're at 160-something. So, you know, another month and a half will actually be to the 200 video mark, which is wild. So we've had a couple of big milestones on the channel. We're at, right now, as of this video recording, 1,556 subscriptions. I know that means not a lot in a certain way and a ton in another way. Reason I say not a lot is because, you know, big YouTubers, we're talking millions sometimes, 200,000, you know, big numbers like that. And I don't know if I'll ever reach that point. I don't know that I care to ever reach that point, but I am really happy that I've got the amount that I have. It means a ton to me. But, you know, that's why it's extra frustrating that YouTube is just arbitrarily taking them away. So, give and take. And we've got, right now, also kind of an iffy statistic because YouTube's been so weird lately, but it's saying 262,000 views on the channel. I calculated out indie impressions itself had quite a few. I don't remember exactly what the number was. I think it was over 100,000. I posted on Twitter a few days ago, and that's crazy for me. I mean, I can't believe it. To say over 100,000 times that people have viewed my videos in that specific series, that's wild. I think probably my best videos, I mean, have like 3,000 to 6,000 on them in particular. So I guess, you know, padding it out over the large number of videos, it makes sense that it would be that many. But it's still just a wild amount of people that have been here and supporting me, and I'm so thankful to each and every single one of you. Even if all you ever did was just watch one video and move on, that means something to me. That means that you cared to sit through that video and listen to me talk. And that really means a lot, because it means I can actually get these ideas out of my head about what's going on, and I can put all of these years of video game references to good use. So that means a lot to me. I also want to thank all of the awesome people that I've been meeting on YouTube, and the list has been growing by the day. People like, obviously, Anzariel, my YouTube partner and partner in crime, you know, Sons of Pixels. We've been doing those Let's Plays, and I want to keep those going as long as possible. Seems like most of you guys enjoy them. I have an amazing time making them. And that's really what the important focus here is, that I'm enjoying making them, he's enjoying making them. If you guys are enjoying watching them, even better. But we'd probably be playing games regardless, so, I mean, we just want to put it to the best use possible. Hannah, I met her recently, very cool person. We've done a couple of guest appearances on Indie Impressions. I've done 1 or 2 on hers. And she's a lot of fun. We've been playing a lot of games together, so she's very cool. Psychedelic Eyeball, I'm not going to go over every individual person, but just the big people I've been talking to a lot lately. He does a series on Super Meat World levels, and he's covered a couple of my chapters. Actually, he's done all my chapters at this point. And we've actually been talking a while. Yeah, we've had a great time just messing around, playing some games. And then the other awesome indie YouTubers, people like Lyco Plays, Slushy, The Captain Craft, J Smith OTI, Northern Line, Michael A.L. Fox, Indie Game Bundles, which I also do a series for called 10 Indie Minutes, so if you want even more of me talking, head on over to indiegamebundles.com or their YouTube page, because that's primarily, or that's the only place that my videos are going up, is their YouTube page. for them. And I think we have like 6 or 7 episodes of 10 Indie Minutes, and largely I've covered the same games I've covered on Indie Impressions, but I've condensed them down into a smaller format, a little bit shorter, and tried to keep it even a little bit more professional even than I'm doing in Indie Impressions. Who else? Heads or Fails, The Elder Rat, True PC Gaming, Buy Some Indie Games, all awesome people, all people that I consider friends and people in my little pseudo network of awesome indie game people. And that's the thing for me, like I totally want to meet more YouTubers that are into promoting indie games. There's people like Azurite Reaction and stuff, and he's very cool too. All of you, if you cover indie games on your channel, I'm totally open to chatting with you, whatever. I'm happy to meet anybody. And I'm not going to make any kind of endorsements, though. That's the thing. Like, I've had a bunch of people that are just starting out on YouTube, and they're like, hey, guys, I mean, I don't want this to be rude, because I do value any interactions at all. Anyone that thinks that my channel is awesome, like, props to you, man. I appreciate that very much. But it's kind of hard for me to get behind, like, if you just started up a channel and you're like, hey, I made 2 Minecraft videos, can you pimp me out on your channel? I'm like, I can't really do it yet. If you show me something cool, I promise, I'll check it out. I don't mind. I will watch just about anything. I will play just about anything. But I'm not about to leap in head first. Not at that point. I mean, you gotta take your lumps, I guess. You gotta start somewhere. I mean, I'm up to like 400 some odd videos. That's a lot of videos now. But a lot of that has come from help between Anzario and myself and the many other people that have helped me put out content. So I won't pretend that I've put all of the work into the 400 whatever videos I have up on my channel. But it has been a lot of work, I will give you that. But I've enjoyed every minute of it, and I will continue to enjoy every minute of it, because finding out all these awesome games, it's pretty much my favorite thing. It's become my daily ritual, and I'm having so much fun. So one other point I want to hit is Greenlight. You guys have mentioned that you'd like to see Greenlight coverage on my channel. I'm up for that. And in fact, what I did is I went through and I tagged all of these stuff on indie-impressions.com. The games that are Greenlight games there, I put a vote link down at the bottom, so you can feel free to head on over and vote on those. And I've also put a search thing right on the actual main menu. Pardon me for a second, my voice is actually cracking up. So you can actually just go and search those all. It's right in the main menu where you can search like free purchase type or whatever, and then you go down to the bottom, it actually just says Greenlight. Click that, and anything that I've covered on Indie Impressions that is a Greenlight game will show up in that list. And if I've missed any, let me know, because there's a chance I have. I'm trying to like cross-reference, but there's no like definitive list that I know of all the games on Greenlight without going and clicking through all of them, which I did for a while, but it got a little complicated. So if I miss one, nothing personal. Just let me know, send me a comment, whatever, send me a message, I will go and add it. I have no problem with that. And then the other big thing is, you may have noticed I look a little bit better than usual in this video. My webcam, the previous one, sucked a little bit. I was using a PS3i. And pardon the crazy light rays that are coming in over here. I'm doing this with it's one of those kind of sort of half overcast days where the clouds are rolling by and it's blocking the sun for a while, and then all of a sudden the sun shows up again, and the webcam tries to recalculate, whatever. You get the idea. If it gets super dark, now you know why. So the webcam thing, I actually managed to grab a couple of pieces of new equipment that will actually help the channel out, I think, quite a bit. I managed to grab this webcam, a Logitech one. It's not super fancy or anything, and I got it used. A couple of things happened to line up in my personal life in a way that made it make some sense to put a little bit of a monetary investment into the channel. I'm not talking much, because I really still don't have a lot of extra money. But between the cool people in my life and a couple of fortuitous things and some very, very gladly, muchly appreciated donations, I was actually able to grab that PVR that I've been looking at for a while. It was actually on sale from somewhere, and I picked it up at a great discount. And, you know, like I said, a bunch of things worked out, so I managed to get, a few extra dollars that I didn't expect to have. And I put them right back in, so that will allow me to start recording some 360 games, and I'm very much looking forward to putting up some of that content. Means I can also start doing some like Xbox Live Arcade and indie games on that. Not sure exactly if I'm going to integrate them into Indie Impressions yet, because part of the fun of Indie Impressions, I think, is that no matter what's going on, you're probably watching this on a PC, which means that you can actually go right ahead and click on that little button at the bottom of it and download the game of whatever it is that I just covered. If we do that on Xbox stuff, it's it's not going to be the same. You won't be able to just click right through it and then have a game all of a sudden. I may do a parallel series. I may do like an Indie Impressions Xbox edition or something. Let me know what you think about that, I guess. I'm still working that out. I haven't made up my mind. But I have tested it out. It works really well. I made a test recording of Geometry Wars just for fun. The video quality is impeccable. The audio quality is fine. It's perfect. I can't really make any complaints. It's over there. I can probably show you real quick. You see it's over here, that little thing on my shelf. So yeah, very cool. So yeah, new content coming. I'm going to try and set up something to do with the Xbox situation pretty shortly, probably in the next week or so. Let me know if you have something specific you'd like to see on that. I do have a specific couple of games semi-planned, but I'm not going to let you in on those yet because I haven't nailed it all down. What else? I think that's mostly it for our notes. Let's hit some question and answer thingies real quick. So, I actually asked on the forums a while back, so, like, what kind of questions are you curious to know? Well, I've gotten a few responses. Graver, this is from the website, obviously, indie-impressions.com. Is there a specific place you're finding the majority of the games you record videos for? Also, have you been in contact with any or a lot of the developers throughout all the videos? Yes, I have been in contact with a lot of them, actually. In fact, I try to send every video I do to the developer through, tweets or email or whatever. I'd say about 80% of the developers I've made videos for have been in contact with me at some point. And I have quite a large list, actually, of awesome indie developers that I've been in contact with and that I am happy to work with in the future, do any kind of other stuff for. As for where I get these games, I have a pretty long list of those. Let's see. Started out, first thing was reddit.com, obviously. I put up I don't know if all of you guys were around for this, but I put up a thread saying, like, hey, I'm starting this channel up. Do any of you guys happen to be making games that you'd like covered? I got really nice amount of replies from that. I think I ended up getting about 20 games, and I've covered like 90% of the games that were from that era. There were a few that I didn't, though, for various reasons. One of them was like a really, really slow turn-based strategy game that I just didn't think would be conducive for a good video. And there was like a really kind of rough platformer that I didn't really have a lot to talk about with, so I let a couple of them go, but for the most part I did just about every video from that. After Reddit, I started looking around for different sites and things. I ended up finding this thing called Tigit, which is, it's like an open source, like a Steam client type of thing, but for indie games specifically, and it's got a list of about 300 free indie games and then a bunch of, free demos. And you can rate them and download them right through it. So it's actually really convenient, and it had a bunch of really cool games on it. So I highly recommend check out Tigit. Other than that, some really cool websites like buysomeindiegames.com, indiegamebundles.com, all the ones that cover stuff like this. Freeindigames. .es? Freeindiegame.gam.es. Yeah, if you head on over there's some pretty wild stuff, and I've actually been covering a lot of stuff off of there recently. What other ones? I have a huge thing in my bookmarks full of different sites and stuff. Whenever there's I'm going to try saying it, Ludum Dare, or however you want it pronounced, that's another thing. I always like to look through all of those. I ended up getting quite a stack of them. All kinds of various indie developers specifically that have their own pages. People like Cactus Squid, Brogue, Damien's Games, who else? Increpair Games, I don't know how to pronounce all of them properly. Jazzuo, you'll probably remember him. Laser Cats, Lazy Laces, Matt Makes Games, Sergio's Games, Shadow Wolf, he did Lasting. And then there's TigSource, of course, and Mod Database. Both of those are brimming with amazing things. I actually went through the entire TigSource set and just looked through all of them. Pulled just about every game I could find off of that. And of course, the main thing, Twitter, people sending PMs, YouTube messages, comments, stuff on the website, on my website, all kinds of great stuff. Like, there's a ton of different ways that I'm learning about these games. So it's really hard to just say that I've gotten them from one place or anything, but I think that's the roundabout extra, like beyond Steam and Desera, which are the main two. Those are like the other places that I've been getting stuff from. So I think that pretty much should answer that question, hopefully. What else? Oh, he told me not to try and pronounce his name, so I'm just going to spell it. Gijs has asked me, what were your thoughts on Indie Game the movie before you watched it, and how did they change after you watched it? Before I watched it, I wasn't sure what to think about it at all, actually. I really didn't know what it was about. Beyond that, I knew Edmund McMillan was covered in it, and it had something to do with Braid, I also knew, but I didn't know exactly what it was. Upon watching it, though, my opinion changed drastically. I ended up really kind of loving it, and it was quite inspirational. If you saw the previous video I did to this that was like a news update and why I love indie games, I kind of went into more detail about it. But I found the whole thing very inspirational, very moving. Definitely shed a few tears at the end, and it really helped kick me into the next gear of, like, I need to do something about this for myself. These people are living their dream, they're doing what they love to do, I need to do some of that for myself as well. So that's a lot of why Indie Impressions has gotten so much momentum. At least I've tried to give it that much momentum, because I really feel compelled to find my own path. So yeah, so watch the older video if you haven't watched it already, and grab some more details on that. Next question, Nikki Jules 10 asks, how would you feel about making a full-time career of what you were doing in the series with enough income to make it plausible? What things would you change if something like this happened, if anything? How would I feel about it? I would be absolutely ecstatic if we could make that all work. I can't do it alone, obviously. I need your guys' support as much as possible, and I think that you've definitely been trying your best to help me out with that, so I'm so appreciative. But that is kind of my goal right now. Like, I've been really pushing, working on YouTube as hard as I possibly can. I've been doing this every single day. Trying to just move myself a little bit forward each day, and so far I haven't had any progress taken away aside from this YouTube shenanigans business. I mean, that's the one thing that I sort of felt like was a really cool thing about YouTube, is like all your progress is sort of ratcheted forward generally, with the exception of this one issue that I've been having, which is why it's so frustrating to me. I think you guys get it, though. I mean, I've been really trying hard to push this whole thing forward and to really make this a community for you guys. I want to make this a place where you can meet cool people, find cool games, and essentially, one of my ethos, like when I first started this, was that I want people to have somewhere they can go every single day and find something to do. Like, just find something cool and different and take their day in a different direction that they probably didn't expect it would go in. Because indie games do that for me all the time. Like, if I think I'm having kind of a crappy day, I might play this one game that I didn't expect would be cool, and all of a sudden everything just zagged instead of zigged, and you never know where things can go from there. So, I mean, it's really done a wonder to keep me less depressed and feeling good about things, and just, you know, going forward with some positivity. I'm a very skeptical, sort of negative person a lot of my life, and when it comes to indie games, that's the one place where I feel really comfortable and happy. So, I mean, doing stuff involved in that every day has really sort of helped me get out of sort of a little bit of a funk and keep things light. So what would I change? If I was to change anything, I would try and have higher production values for my videos. I would try and get some, like, better intro, outro material, better editing. I would probably buy some better editing software. I'm working with what I can work with here, and I think things are going okay. I mean, hopefully you guys don't have too many complaints about production values, but I'm sure there are a few things I could still improve. And I'm trying. I'm really trying. I guess the other thing, if I had extra money, would be, I mentioned this before, I would want to give away more games. I would try harder to promote more things, and I would try harder to get more structure. Because a lot of it right now is like, I'm trying to do what I can on a day-to-day basis, so I try not to plan too carefully because I know things could change at any point. So if I was in a position where I was making money off of this, if things were a little bit more certain, a little bit more nailed down, I would feel more comfortable saying, okay, in 2 months we're going to do X. Or I would, you know, I'd feel more comfortable saying, well, X is going to come out, and I'm going to have coverage of it because I know I'll be able to afford the game, and, you know, that'll all work out. I mean, stuff like Torchlight 2, I only have that because Anza was so generous as to gift it to me. They Bleed Pixels, gifted by Hannah. Borderlands 2, leftover Best Buy gift card. Like, I'm kind of burning my bridges when it comes to money stuff, so trying to just get the good content in where I can. I knew I wanted both of those games anyway, well, Borderlands and Torchlight. They Bleed Pixels I definitely wanted as well, but I didn't know if I would get it or not. But whatever, I'm really happy I got them. I'm really thankful to the people that gifted them to me, and I have also gotten gifts of some other games in the past. The Ship was one of them. Dear Esther was another one. And the Basement Collection was another one. So giant thank you to all the people that have been gifting me games. I really, really appreciate it. And thank you to the developers as well that have gifted me, you know, beta copies, early copies, promotional copies, preview copies. There's all kinds of different copies out there. But for those of you who have been helping me help you, to help me to help you, all of that good stuff, I'm really thankful for that. So hopefully that answers that question pretty well. And last question by the Merry Unicorn. If you could have a game develop especially for you, what type of game would it be and why? Pretty sure my type of game would be some sort of a Metroidvania game or like an abstract exploration game. Metroidvania just because my favorite games of all time are, you know, like Super Metroid, Castlevania Symphony of the Night, but pretty much all the Castlevania series that involves the Metroidvania elements, stuff like Eternal Daughter. Even games like Mega Man and Spelunky to a small degree almost function a little bit like Metroidvania games just because of the nature of, you know, get a power-up, do something different, potentially reach somewhere you couldn't reach before, and obviously Spelunky to a lesser degree, but you know what I mean. So yeah, definitely some kind of game like that. Abstract exploration games I just think are generally really thought-provoking, and there's a lot you can do with narrative with those that I still think hasn't been fully explored. And I would even consider a game like Journey to be one of those abstract exploration games. In fact, I don't know what else you would call it other than maybe a platformer. So hopefully you get sort of the vein that I would want it to be in. But I'm totally cool with going with like lush 3D graphics or pixel art. I actually like both of them. Depending on the mood, it does definitely vary. Sometimes I prefer one over the other, but I really am happy with stuff like the graphical style to They Bleed Pixels I think is beautiful, and I like that kind of stuff. Maybe even higher resolution sprites per se, but you know, I could go either way. It really depends if the art style is cohesive, I think is the most important thing, and that the game has something to say or is just really playable gameplay wise or whatnot. So yeah, I think that would pretty much be it. Metroidvania pretty much is the end-all be-all for me. I do like RPGs, I do like some action games, I do like the occasional first-person shooter, and in fact, my origins as far as being a gamer are pretty steeped in first-person shooters, so I can't deny that that's a pretty influential part of what makes me who I am today. Games like Doom and Marathon were very formative, Wolfenstein even, Pathways into Darkness, I'll throw out a few older references, and then the older games like, you know, the original Warcraft, Myth, those top-down strategy action type games were very cool as well. RTS, I guess, to a small degree, but I haven't really stuck with RTS that much. And then games like Diablo, Diablo 2, Torchlight, you know, the hack-and-slash action types, Baldur's Gate, Champions of Norath, there's like 20, I don't know, I always lose my mind when I try to come up with references, and I always forget half of them. But you get the spirit of what I'm trying to say, hopefully, so I think that'll pretty much do it. So, those will be all the questions as far as for now. Feel free to continue asking questions if you guys are curious. I'm always happy to do more of these types of videos. I actually really enjoy answering questions for you guys if you're interested. So if you want to send them to me in either PMs, or you can always tweet them to me, email them to me. There's the contact form on the website. Private message me, pretty much wherever, Reddit, here, there, wherever. So I think that's going to pretty much wrap us up for this news update. I think I've covered just about everything I need to cover. If I forget something, I'll just make another one. I would like to get to doing these a little bit more frequently and try and keep them not 40 minutes long if possible, because I know that's a little pushing it for what you guys want to watch. I mean, how much of my face can you really handle, right? So I hope you enjoyed it, and remember, as always, head on over to the website, which is www.indie-impressions.com. Check out the forums, meet some cool people, play some cool games. Check us out over on facebook.com/indieimpressions. I've been doing a lot of contests that show up over there, as well as on the YouTube page itself. So YouTube and Facebook have been the big two, and then of course my Twitter, @RockLeeSmile, and then @IndieImpressions. If you want to reach me quickly for any reason, @RockLeeSmile is your way to do that. My Twitter is pretty much something I check on every 6 or 8 hours, so if you want to catch me, that's the way. And I'm always happy to chat with you guys if you want to meet up on Skype or something, if you want to talk over Steam, if you want to play some games with me, whatever. I'm cool with all of that. I don't want to be one of those guys that's like, hey guys, I'm famous on YouTube, no one can talk to me anymore. No, that's the opposite of what I want. So, I guess I can try and promise that, like, if you guys keep supporting the channel, if we keep growing, I'm going to try and get you back as much stuff as I can. I want to get you some free games. I want to help this become a more tight-knit, cohesive community where we all support each other and we all love indie games and we all have mature, amazing conversations. That's one thing I got to hand it to you guys for. The conversations we have on our YouTube channel, love it. YouTube is a bastion for cretinous, awful villainy, and my channel specifically, I don't feel like it is. For the most part, like, almost all the comments have been really positive, really supportive, really useful, really present. Just good, mature comments, and I'm really thankful for that. That's the thing that I was most concerned about. I want to foster a community that is not a bunch of jerks. And I have to hand it to you guys, you are not at all a bunch of jerks, so I'm so thankful. It could have very easily gone in the other direction, and I've had a couple of trolls show up. It happens. I'll develop thicker skin over it. I'll learn to live with it. I mean, it happens on Reddit, too. I've had somebody, I'm not even going to go into it, somebody that's been a jerk on there, but whatever. It's the internet, man. I mean, you're going to run into jerks no matter where you are, what you're doing, whether it's YouTube, whether it's Facebook, whatever it is, they're going to show up. But you guys are exceptional. I'm in awe. So keep doing what you're doing. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. And I hope you guys keep watching my videos, and I hope you keep checking to make sure you're still subscribed to me, because I hate when you're not. Alright, thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time, alright? Have a good night, guys. Later.